Namaste. Welcome to Sovel Calm Edition. This will be a very peaceful and tranquil run through of Sovel at the highest difficulty. Sovel being a turn-based strategy game that pitches two fantastical style armies against one another. If you haven't seen it before, you'll pick it up very quickly as we go along. As you've seen from the title and thumbnail, we'll be playing with a balanced run, all things being equal. So we'll be playing as the Elf Spell Sword, being capable of individual combat and supporting his allies, so he's nice and well-rounded. This is going to be a treat from the last one we did. Thank you very much for those who came over and seen the last one. This will be a fair bit easier, not quite as sweaty as the last one we had to do, so we'll have a fun time with this one. We'll pick our two units. Now, balance is of course our objective here. We're a Zen Master, so we're going to go for a balanced army. So the Spell Sword starts with a fantastic infantry unit of Weapon Masters. So we've got one unit of infantry, so I'd like one archer and one cavalry. And between those two, the City Guard are amazing, and they are somewhat balanced. You could argue that they're a melee and ranged unit, but they're a little bit too powerful, I think, when they're pushing it. So we'll go with true army balance rather than individual balance. So we'll go infantry, archer, and cavalry. There's our perfect split there. Otherwise, I guess you could have an entire army of just City Guard, and that would be perfectly balanced as it splits everything apart. There you go. We have Thalador Swiftwind, our spell sword, so he hits things in combat pretty confidently, and he's got some spells to help his allies out, some archers to shoot at things, and some very potent dragon knights to run around and smash into things. True balance is the campaign map, but we're just going to move from left to right to our stopping points and try and generate XP and gold to buy upgrades to new units while defeating the bosses. I'll kind of go through each of these as we go through, but I'm just going to try and map out a path that gets us a lot of fights. Initially, I think coming here would be a good choice because we get 3 in a row, and then eventually we'll be forced through. There's some elites for extra challenge, but for more gold, so probably down here. A lot of random events, which is a bit unfortunate, but it'll be okay. Against some yet to achieve balance shambling hosts, we shall instill calm upon them. We want to do this while there'll be a unit of fast hounds on the side somewhere, so they'll come charging at one of these. I should probably let's be a bit clever and put our Dragon Knights in the middle, because then wherever the fast ones are, I can just intercept them with those, and then you can start making your way down the flanks. They're there. I'm going first. We'll just move our spell swords up, so have a look what they. So Weapon Masters, very potent in combat. They're going to cleverly move that first. So what I can do to counteract that, they're of course going to spring forward and try and reach my archers. So we can preemptively move our knights in such a way that as they come forward to reach us, I'll be in a good position to catch them like this. So there's no way they can avoid me there. I'm going to stand sideways on so they can't get a good line of sight on me. That should be okay. They're not going to reach us, we knew that much. And then you're just going to shoot some of the wolves because I might as well take the opportunity to strip them down while I have the chance. Oh, we killed the whole unit. Yeah, perfectly balanced there. They all died in one shot. That's the kind of balance I like to see. Leaves the Moon Shadow Brigade just sort of standing there, but never mind. They're coming after my poor Dragon Knights. I'll start archering down the skeletons while I have the chance. 10 archers get their 10 shots. Thunk. Put an arrow into the eye socket of the skeleton. They're starting to move us, so let's put our Weapon Masters. Suppose we can get them into the back of these zombies here. And the Dragon Knights can just run away for a second because there's no need to engage any of these head on. They're never going to be able to catch you, so you might as well just take more advantageous charges elsewhere. Can't quite get into the side arc of the zombies yet, I'm afraid. I'm not going to be able to see them. So of course the zombies can see us. I'm using the X key and the C key here. They're going to declare a charge, but because I got into the back, we can intercept them and pin them in place. Have the Weapon Masters do some very nice damage. They're after my poor Dragon Knights. Okay, we can do something about that, but first we'll use our Thalador spell. So where power, if you have a look at our Weapon Masters here, power 4, which will become 5 on the charge because of great weapons. And as zombies are defense 6, we can increase our power so we hit harder for the one turn I do this. Let's buff ourselves and our unit. Very good, and then the archers can come over here and start. Continue to whittle down some warriors. Thunk. I'm less concerned about this unit here. I can just get you out of the way. Again, I can't quite get you to where I want you to go, but that's fine. Here we go, so Thalador's going to attack. It's once, and he's power 6 now, so instantly, yeah, the use of his power there helped him. The 5 would have saved otherwise. So with better skill, we have 2.5 times the skill of the enemy, so we hit on 3+, and then Weapon Masters are particularly amazing because they have Elven Mastery, they get to reroll their hits, so 3s, and then the 1s and 2s, you get to roll again to try and convert successes, and then 6s, kill 7 of them. And then when zombies lose, they don't run away, they just lose 1 to 3 more zombies, so there you go, there's 5 zombies left. I'm going to do that, which is fine, because it makes it very easy for me to ignore them and come around here. Now here, we're going to drop to power 4 this turn, so even if I used my extra power on the charge, it wouldn't make any difference, because they're going to have the exact same save, so we'll leave that there. The way that works, of course, is if you have 3 or more power relative to enemy defense, they save on 6+. If it's only 1 or 2 more, it's going to be 5. So going from 1 more to 2 more is irrelevant. The zombies manage to save all the damage. We just always get our rerolls though. Elven Mastery is permanent, and that wipes them all out. On hits, we are quite durable, but we don't roll a single save and we lose 4. Okay, I have to heal the unit. Bit unlucky. About we do amazing damage to them, and they do amazing damage to us. I suppose you can consider that balanced. Go and kill the rest of the Skeleton Warriors now. Now we will use our Fiery Blades ability. Skip the rest because they're all about to disappear. Thalador is somewhat upset at what happened to his unit. It's going to wipe them out in exchange. I thought we'll have to start putting that back together. We get 2 back for free, and then we can heal 3 each time. So there you go. We have more than when we started. So at the end of a battle, you get a flat amount of gold, XP for all of your guys, and then a little bit of auto-replenishment for your losses, and then either gold or more replenishment. I'm just going to put there. That's slightly annoying. I'm going to just spread the unit out just a touch, so there you get more attacks. You only get they only have 1 attack each, so actually makes no difference, but you can only fight in 2 ranks. So by spreading the unit out like this, he loses his attacks effectively, the gentleman at the back there, so we'll spread them out like so. There's Orc Scouts this turn. Again, same trick, so there'll likely be there's a fast unit of Orc Cavalry, so it's Orcs on Pigs, or as someone has delightfully named them, Pork Cavalry, which I thought was great. We'll try and lure them into... Well, if I'm lucky, maybe I can do it, so I'll intentionally put them in a sort of back. If I put them here, the Orcs would make their way around here and then look this way, which means I can't flank them. Whereas I have them here, they'll likely just come forward, and then I can easily put the Dragon Knights into their side. Yeah, there they are, so this will work perfectly. So I have more units to them. They do exactly what I was hoping, so it should be relatively easy. This rock is going to get right in the way, actually, isn't it? So we have about the same movement. This is what's tripping me up. So were it not for this pebble here, you have to be able to draw a straight line from the centre of your unit to the centre of the thing you're charging, so about there. So that's fine. The problem is I'm in the majority of their front arc, so this wouldn't actually work. I might have to spend a turn drawing them in towards me, which isn't the end of the world. I'll just do this for now. I'm going to come forward, have these archers run up here and start distracting them. And by distracting them, of course, I mean firing volley after volley of arrows into them. So they're going to reach us and charge. I'm going to deny them by doing this. Just get out of the way. Oh no, is that forest going to slow me down enough that I can't escape? No, I got away with it. There you go. They'll have to come forward, which will make it a bit easier to get around their side. Eventually one of these 2 units will flank them. Before they come, now much easier for me to slip in here. Just needed that little bit of leeway. So I can draw straight, I can see them. See my blue zones, so I can see them. I'm the majority in the correct arc, which is good. And I can clearly draw the straight arrow from there to there. And they're going to prioritise the archers. If they went after the knights, that'd be a bit of a hassle for me, but no, they're going to lock onto this unit. Because we're swift, we're elves, we're quite nimble, so we can easily get away from things like this. And then you're safe to just start making your way over here to come help with those Orc Warriors. They're going to charge us, but if you put charge in the side or back, it's intercept, so no charges for you. Take that, pork cavalry. Eventually these woods are slowing us down, but we're basically 3 of them now. Now for our ability, if we have a look where power 4 and the hand weapon and shield that the Dragon Knights are armed with will increase us to power 5. The enemy's defense 5, so going up from power 5 to 6 with fiery blades, is helpful. That'll mean that reduces the enemy's save again. Here, just inch away, turn around and shoot them. Safe there. On its own, the archers here would eventually destroy this entire unit. Here we go, so 2 attacks each and 5 of them, so 10 attacks. Still better skill. We'll have better, basically we can have better skill than almost everything we counter for many, many fights. And then we're also Elven Masters, so we're also re-rolling everything, which is nice because it turns 4 hits into 8, and we've reduced their save to 5+. So all those 4s don't get saved instead. I take no damage. Because they lost, they have to take a discipline check, which they can't pass because orcs have great stats, but their discipline, their morale effectively is dismal. If you just give them an opportunity, they'll usually fail. Start bringing our melee units around to deal with this, if there's anything left by the time we get here. Swing around, whee! Continue charging forward. I suspect, so the enemy are wavering. Once you get past 50%, their morale will automatically decrease by their little value. I think once I get one more shot into them, they'll move from wavering to routing this turn. Yeah, so you no longer have to play the game, you can just skip the rest, because at the end of this turn, the enemy will just decide, that's probably enough, we've probably lost, let's just go home. Which is a perfectly calm and reasonable answer. We've got enough XP to start leveling our guys, which is nice. The Feywind arrows level up, so the archers. And we have a choice, we can get more of them, extra range or discipline. Discipline's not great. Of the two, we're going to take the range. For immediate power, the extra unit size would be better, because then I can just immediately get 3 more archers and throw out 3 more shots every time I shoot. I'm going to go with Bow Mastery, however. Not great as it is, but there's an extra upgrade Bow Mastery 2 we're working towards, which should be very potent. For these, we can go extra skill, which is ridiculous. We don't really benefit from being skill 5 to skill 6. It's not really that useful. So instead, we're going to go unit size. We're not going to make use of all of it immediately. In fact, you only get 1 back. The 1 extra is perfect because it puts us at 6. And cavalry can only be lined up 6 alongside each other. So I think that's perfect. And just go for the others. Yeah, we have our ideally sized unit of Dragon Knights now. Ooh. Very, very pleasing. Very balanced. Getting to those perfect thresholds. If I had 14, can this unit stretch to 7? I think so. If I healed this unit again, I'd get 1, 2, 3, and it would be exactly across. So maybe I'll do that next turn as well. Goblin Raiders are a bit annoying. There's going to be some shooting coming our way, I suspect. You could probably hide in the woods so you don't get shot too much. Yeah, the archers are there, so I'll just rush onto them as fast as I can. They're kind of really bad in terms of range, so I can, if I'm a bit clever, I can wait for them to go and then come forward later. Let's just do this first. I can't reach them, which is a shame. I'd like to have shot that unit, but oh well. What do you think? Can they can move far enough to the way terrain works is that range stuff can see into it but not beyond it, so that's why this is safe. If they can move forward enough to touch it, however, they'll be able to shoot us. So I guess what I could try and do is just, I can bet, well, if they come far enough forward that they'll be able to touch it and see me, then I'll be able to get them next turn. That's less of a concern. I can probably, they'll probably divert themselves to go deal with that, in which case just moving around here to eventually get into a better position later. Interesting, they've gone, they could have seen and shot me, but rather they wasted it. So they're going to shoot me next turn, but I have to take it one volley, but never mind. Don't need any charges here. If I rushed the cavalry to there, maybe I could have caught them immediately. Just come forward and continue. Do you want to be cheeky? Get a short range shot. So you get long range and short range if you're in that half kind of green zone. You don't incur a negative penalty to hit. No, they're still after our Dragon Knights. Interesting. Now I'd love to move this, but the problem is if I wait for them to move and they shoot, I might be able to get into their flank if I did this. The issue is if I move first, they're just going to ignore me. So let's just get you slightly backwards. Probably far enough to be safe from that. That's probably not good enough yet. If I have you rush over here, can I get into the flank of this unit? I don't quite have the movement. Maybe next turn. You're after me there. I now have to do this anyway, so I may as well. Can I not get far enough? I don't know if I can escape that. I can just about escape those. And I can get into combat with the short bows quickly. They're going to shoot me, which is convenient because they're not going to reposition. Our saves are still terrible on this unit, but we'll flank them regardless. Amazing damage output in exchange for dismal defensive properties. I suppose it's technically a form of balance, isn't it? They're after my archers. I can probably ignore this unit. I can just hack it to death with the archers as we go along. Get out of range. In fact, turn around like this because they're going to move towards us. It'll be easier to run away next turn. And you're going to chase me there. Well, that wood is going to slow me down enough such that I can't escape that way, but I can go this way. Eventually I'll get around you. And then here, they're only defense 2, so my fiery blades doesn't actually matter because I'll be power 5 anyway, which is 3 or more better than them. So I might as well conserve it. Eldor misses every time, great stuff. And the Weapon Masters do much better. Full house, 7 of 7, and 6+ they kill all 7, so they can't do any better. We don't lose any. -2 discipline check. I'm sure you can manage. Do that. I'm just going to put you here in case they rally. I can now easily catch this unit with my Dragon Knights, flank them like so. They don't rally, so they keep running. You get to there as planned, and then turn around. Splat, splat, splat. And they're off the field. You have another opportunity to pass a morale check. If you don't manage it, you'll just run away entirely. Point blank the goblin mob, and they're all gone. And fiery blades will matter here because we're power 4, up to 5 on the charger hand weapon adds you +1, so they go from 4 to 5. The enemy are defense 3, so going to 5 to 6 means we're 3 over their defense, so we reduce their save to the minimum. 6+ they need to roll only a 6. We have our extra guy, so we go up to 12 attacks, which is perfect. 9 hits is actually 12 of 12 hits, wow. And then they roll perfectly averagely at 2 6s and 12 dice. That's a real shame. I was hoping, as long as I didn't roll double failed save, I would be okay. I managed to lose one. I'll have to put that back. Because they get 3 attacks. As long as you didn't take 2 wounds, we would have kept them all. Oh well. And here, the spell sword leveled. Interesting. You have an extra attack, discipline, which is terrible. Some characters, we're not going to need it. Or improve our spell to be +2. Now, in terms of his balance, he's helping a lot with the spells, and he's not doing very well in terms of his individual attack potency. +2 is not going to be too useful, so I think I'd rather just make him... This is better for the army, this is better for him. What do you think is more balanced? I guess we can do both eventually, so it's not going to be the end of the world. Let's go with a... He's fighting every turn, so let's go with the buff one instead. And then his accompanying weapon masters. More skill, again, same principle. Why would we need skill 6? It'd only be relevant against enemy skill 5 stuff, and we won't be seeing it for a long time. So either gold or extra size. I don't particularly need the size at that, that's pretty good, so I'll just go with the gold. I'm not going to use it this turn because I want the units back. I want yours back to full strength. I'll take the gold there. Go into our first armory. So this is a shop where I can buy units. Now for balance, we've got archer, cavalry, infantry. So I don't want to skew. So obviously I'm going to have to pick between either archer, cavalry, infantry. I guess I don't have any light cav. So that'd be, these two would be better choices, but that would be, annoyingly, it's retinue. So it would move my spell sword from his weapon masters into a fairly silly unit of light cavalry where he's not going to get a lot of value. So maybe just a unit of infantry is the way to go. Weapon masters are pretty fun, and I don't usually make good use of them. So that would be a bit too strong. So I think this would be a good choice. Go with some extra foot troops and then some upgrades. 103 gold left. Balance of swiftness great. Lances on the knights are fantastic because it means it's just a flat upgrade against the hand weapon and shields. You go from defense 1, bonus charge 1 power to defense 1, bonus charge 2. It's just an upgrade. So that's probably the way to go. Then 63, you'd start buying banners of swiftness at this point. You can start speeding up things, but then we also have the banner of fury on the weapon masters, which is cool. But remember, I have the fiery blades to use on you. When I need that extra power, I'll probably have it where I need it. So I think it's a little bit of a trick. We can pick it up later, but I don't think we need it right now. So instead I'll go for some defensive increases. So there's our offensive increase. Let's buy a defensive one for some balance. +1 to hit rolls for Thalador, maybe make him more potent. Banners of Mist, so things can't shoot us as much. Banners of Swiftness to move faster. I could afford one defensive item, so I could go Banner of Mist on, say, Swiftness on the Dragon Knights for some speed, and then buy a great weapon for Thalador to help with his power, because he's got what? He has a hand weapon and shield, so his number of attacks will increase as we go, but then he needs a bit more power to be viable, so I think that's a good choice. So we'll speed up our knights, and we'll give you some extra kick in combat. So Weapon Masters, all the Dragon Knights with their lances now, so they do change their weapons, which is good. So 6 on the charge, and 7, 8 if I wanted to with greater blades. As for our routing here, how do we want to go? We can go this way, we can get 1, 2, 3, 4 fights on a random event. We can go down here, we'll get 1, 2, 3 fights and 2 random events. In exchange, you get 1 less battle, but one of them is an elite. Now, in terms of the balance between the two, that wasn't intentional. The regular fights get you half the gold, so that you get twice as much gold for elites, but then of course you only get 1 experience. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 experience, and let's say like half, and then he will get 1, 2, 3 experience, and then half gold, full gold, and 2. So the gold comes to basically the same, except the top part actually has an edge, because you get more opportunities to press the looter button as the more fights you have, so you will generate more from coming up here and more experience. So I think this is the more consistent path for us to generate some strength, and you still get our random events if you want a bit of spice, so we'll do without the elite. Usually elites in Act 1 are excellent because they're not really that much harder than the regular battles, and you get a lot of gold from them, but just in this case, because of the way the map was set out, we'd actually prefer to come around here. So I'll put the knights on the side. There'll be something fast charging towards us, maybe a unit of archers. Weapon masters on the flank, and kind of just spread out like this. So we get our wolves, we can easily beat those. Pass, they have no shooting, so I'm happy to have them run towards us. They're going to do the same. We can't really avoid it, they're too quick. With my extra speed, maybe I can slip this way. Get into the flank of this unit. Yes, easily. So I can see them. Can I get a majority in that arc? And then as long as I can just about fit myself there to technically make it happen. Forward they come. I guess I can spend a couple turns shooting them rather than throwing the poor Weapon Master straight. The Weapon Masters would win, but I take some fairly nasty damage as a consequence, so let's just shoot them first. Get 1 less Wolf Rider, just decreases the amount of damage they can do, and then back off this way. They're going to come charging that way. Again, I can't really do anything to stop them. I suppose I could flank charge that unit instead. I could hit either of these. It's not too much of a concern. It's that there are 3 of them is a nuisance, so don't worry about the trolls for now. They'll take a while to reach us. They'll come forward, but they're not much of an issue. Do you want to just throw there would be power 4 on the charge. They get 10 attacks, hitting on 4s, so 5 hits on average, and then I'm defense 4, their power 4. I'll take about 2.5 wounds, which isn't terrible, but the way we've been saving, we may not do very well. And then we'll not be in a good position because they'll be in a great spot to kind of start flanking and doing nasty damage, so I think I'll just back away for a turn. Will come the trolls. This unit I'm just going to also back away just a bit. I'm going to give my archers 1 more shot into that unit, whittle them down, and then send the Weapon Masters in to kill them. So a choice here, we can either do this. This might be a good option because then they'll come forward and I might be in a position next turn to kind of chain side charge. It depends how far forward they move, which hopefully won't be too far forward, so I might get lucky and catch both of them subsequently. So just tip into combat there. Forward you come, yeah, that's fine. The issue for me is that where are those... No, they're going to turn and face me, that's quite smart. Okay. They're going to come forward. Can I counteract them by doing this? Not immediately, but maybe later. I might be able to kill this unit and then flee the Dragon Knights and get a better charge with the Weapon Masters at a later date. Do I need to use my Fiery Blades? Well, they're only defense 3 and we power 6 because of our Lancers, so that doesn't help us. Forward come the Trolls, who unfortunately have caught us here, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Something that aggro onto me. Now, what can I do to stop the Trolls? Well, I guess I could shoot the archers into this. Yeah, let's do this. Well, have you come forward? I can't reach them annoyingly to... In fact, it's bugged. It's not going to tell me what the... Oh, that's broken, I'm afraid. Don't worry, that's not displaying... There you go, that's fixed itself. Can't quite get the counter charge, which is a shame because I lose power. But I can use Fiery Blades to increase our strength. I won't be able to because I intend to flee. Maybe I should just take the Wolf Riders on. Take some damage and heal them back. That'll then leave you to shoot these and run away. Oh, they also reached us. Oh, that's not good at all. That positioning there wasn't good. So just here and shoot and run. If you're lucky, you can do 3 damage to a troll. No, very unfortunate. Trolls regenerate, so unless you kill a troll outright, you've effectively done nil damage. I'm just going to have to stand here and run away because I don't want to fight trolls with archers. So this should be relatively easy. Yeah, they're all dead immediately. I take a wound, which is unfortunate. I can't charge back, so that's okay. I should probably just take those up. Because they're closer to me, they get to do that, so just kill them. You don't particularly want to do that. I'm just going to flee from that unit. That'll do. So because of how fast the Goblin Wolf Riders are, I'm not really able to freely outposition them. They're going to come over there. Let's try rally this. We rallied with our good discipline. And I could probably be a bit of a nuisance and get in the way of these. I can hit the trolls in the back and stop them from charging my paw. Again, it doesn't. I should have just shot the Goblin Mob, really. I can't use Fiery Blade because I had to run. They do no damage. I got really lucky. Good, and then we'll easily beat them. They're all dead. Well, one survived on a wound. I'm not going to take the Goblin Mob on. There's no need to take the damage. Over here, I might lose a couple of Weapon Masters. 2 in exchange for the whole unit dying. Okay, let's free our these up. You're going to charge me. I'm not going to take that battle. There's no need to. Safety, we'll go off the field, but that's okay. That fails to rally, so it'll probably leave now. And then you... I'm definitely going to use Greater Blades on my archers because of how tough these trolls are. I'll make them power 5 and might actually be able to hurt them. The reason I did this is because trolls have dismal discipline, so if I can just do maybe 1 or 2 wounds, and then because I flanked them, that's probably enough to break them and get them to run away. Start converging on this Goblin Mob. So the hit roll is good because you have better skill, and then, yeah, that's surely enough. So you get a point for rear charging and then everyone for damage, so unless they rolled a Herculean discipline check, they're going to have to run away. Trolls are an unwieldy weapon where they're very potent. They're kind of an extreme version of orcs where strong, but if they get caught in a bad position, they're basically finished. And we'll eventually get someone to flank around this Goblin Mob. Can't cover all of your angles, can you? You can stand here and just whittle away at them. So it looked bad because obviously we let the Goblin Wolf Riders reach us, but the thing about Goblin Wolf Riders is that they don't really do a lot of damage. What I can do here to be clever is I can shoot intentionally not escape their line of sight with my archers and allow them to charge me. I'll then flee and they'll be in a perfect position to rear charge next turn. Because I can't quite get into their back this turn. I can do side charges, but that's it. So they're routing already, so we won't even be able to fight them, but what would happen is I'll demonstrate. So we'll flee this unit. Yeah, off the field they go. And then we could easily... They can't move after they fail to charge like that, so we'll just do this. And then at the start of next turn we hit them in the back, but no need to worry. Fleeing a unit off the field like that means you don't take any casualties, the unit's healthy, so usually the way to go. So we only took 2 Weapon Masters in the end. It was a lot better than it looked. 6 is obviously fine as it is, you're full HP. Do you want to get by with 8 weapon masters? Probably I could just take the heal, make full size. And then here, yeah, we know exactly what we're doing, just keep taking fights. Yes. Fellow elves, have you mastered balance yet, fellow elves? Have you achieved Zen? Okay, so there'll be Elf Patrol is usually a unit of Reavers, a chariot, and a big unit of Lancers. So obviously I'd love to flank the Lancers with my Dragon Knights and immediately get rid of them, but they're going to be probably 1 here and 2 there. So position here so you can kind of hide behind the terrain to the best of your ability. In fact, do that with the smaller one because I'd rather you be active to go hit things. Yeah, exactly like this. Oh, they're over there. Okay, you'll come forward and get flanked. I have to go first, that's reasonable. I'd like you to shoot the chariot because it's fragile enough that with a couple of turns of shooting you might be able to kill it. Forward you come. No, it doesn't matter, you're not going to reach anything. They're annoying, I'm not going to be able to really out-position them. If I just stand here, that'll probably do because they'll come forward and I can flank them with the knight. So just chill out here for a bit. Good, I know where they've landed, so I know where to get you. It's going to be a bit awkward to position this. See if I can thread the needle here. Oh yeah, that's a piece of cake. Straight into the side. Perfect. You're going to come bumbling forward towards my 4 weapon masters. Take no damage. I'm just going to back away. This unit will charge me given the chance, so if I wanted this to work, as long as... Could I even reach them? I could reach them this turn. So it would all depend on who gets to charge first. If I charge first, because I'm in their front arc, they won't be able to counter-charge me because the straight line here will be shorter than the straight line there, and they won't be able to do anything. If they charge first, they can do this, and I can't do anything to interrupt them. So I'm trying to figure... Who has initiative? I think it will be them, annoyingly. So I'm just going to back away. I can't quite escape. I'd love to kind of get around there and get away properly. Although, can he draw a straight line from... No, I think... So he can see us, but we're safe, because he can't legally draw a straight line from there to my side to do the charge, so it's not going to be possible, so I can ignore him. It's the rear, tail the arc there, or rather the flank, so he can't hit me. They did get to charge first, so that was a good decision otherwise. Maybe the air would have been daft and taken that charge first and screwed itself, but why take the risk? If it doesn't go our way, I take a huge amount of damage on Weapon Masters for no real reason. I'm going to continue towards my archers, just continue working them down. 3+ now. If you're lucky, you might kill it this turn. No, unfortunate. Can't quite escape that way, so we'll come this way. They're going to keep shooting, just keep getting chipped away. No, not yet. Hide from the scary Reavers. And then here, now we're power 4, 5, 6 on the charge. The enemy are defense 5, they're a heavy cavalry unit, quite tough. If I use Greater Blades, we'll go from 6 to 7 to 8. And 8 is 3 or more over a defense of 5, so we'll get to the perfect threshold. So even these heavy cav are going to be saving on 6s, amazing damage output. That'll be enough to definitely beat them in a turn. Start making your way over here. Yeah, we still have better skill because we're super elite heavy cav as opposed to just regular elite heavy cav. We kill the back line, they don't hit us. Oh dear, poor Lancers. Just being horribly outclassed. Inch forward again, not too much of a hassle. I'm curious to see where that unit moves first, so I'm just going to do this before I do anything. Perfect. Long range, but okay, sure. Oh, he dies anyway. Chariot gone. You're going to get there, and they do just about get a shot, which is unfortunate. I still haven't failed. These Weapon Masters can't roll at a save to save their lives, quite literally. I mean, these Weapon Masters, the Shadow Cloaks, are borderline invincible. Okay. Is that how we've achieved balance? One can't roll a save and one is completely impervious to damage. Start making your way this way to go catch them eventually. Suppose you can do the same. Eventually someone will reach those Reavers. I'm going to start playing Ring Around the Rosies, but he's a bit of terrain now. I'm still shooting them, fine. Hey, I finally lost a couple. Fair enough, I should have lost a lot more by now. All I can do is I can easily just run you over here. Get you into the flank of the unit. A bit further forward, 1.2. If you just inch forward and then twist a bit. Okay, so they definitely can't see me and I can see them. There's nothing else I need to do, just maybe take a shot. They're going to get 2 attacks into me regardless, so it makes no difference. But it's good to contribute. I suppose it slightly changes the... You can be clever there and change the charge radiuses by scraping off one of their models. Again, only defense 3, so power 6 is enough to smash straight through their save. Don't need any extra help. They are all dead. They do exactly as much as the Elf Lancers did. Again, a couple of wounds to those Weapon Masters, but at some levels, 9 of 10 is perfectly fine, that's good enough. We'll level up. Probably take the size, because we can go up to a pretty good unit size immediately. And the archers go straight... Wow, that's incredibly lucky. We went straight from... So extra range, and then bow mastery 2. Damage saves against units are reduced by 1. So they have great skill and great range. The only thing that the longbows for our elf archers here don't have is a lot of power. It doesn't matter when you can reduce the save of the enemy with every shot you take. So there you go, that's already extremely potent. And the Dragon Knights don't need extra skill, so just take the gold. Everyone is in a pretty healthy state. I'm going to increase the Weapon Masters because they'll go up to 12, which is a really good size. As we're about, I'll show you why. So 12 means we look like that. They're now exactly the same. It's 11 plus Falador, and then 12, so it kind of evens out. Here we'll go fight. Just need to generate as much gold as possible. In the kind of Act 1, this easy bit, making it as easy as possible later on by generating mad cash is the way to go. Remember, the Buddha was first a prince, a very rich one at that, before he achieved enlightenment. Mining crew, so we'll have some archers at the back, probably somewhere. A unit of light cav on the side would probably have been a good shout here. We can send them both down, but never mind. We'll put you there, and then you can start making your way around that way. The archers are directly in front of our Dragon Knights, that's fine, I can just go straight onto them. I have to go first. Well, can I shoot them? No, not yet. So let's just waste time with one of these units. They immediately shoot our Dragon Knights. I should definitely invest in a Banner of Mist for this unit, because the only thing that threatens it is being shot. The archers, I'm going to save them. I waited because I knew one of these units would have to step out of cover first, which means I can do this. They lose their cover and I get a short range shot, doing better damage. You aren't going to reach us, which is not a problem. Just going to promptly ignore that unit and go straight into the archers. I might sustain some casualties doing this with a direct approach, but just heal them in a minute. The amazing thing about Dragon Knights is that even when you start losing 1 or 2, they're still going to be strong enough to smash through things. You've handed my big potent unit of spell swords a rear charge, or flank charge, for that I'm very grateful. I'm going to come around and eventually threaten you. Didn't quite reach us this turn though, so if I'm lucky. The problem is I don't think I can legally declare a flank because of this impassable bit of terrain. I can't put a model here. I can try, I guess it's worth a go. So I can see them, I'm clearly the majority of the flank, and can you draw a straight line from? No chance. I need to be less aggressive with moving that way around. You can twist your own face here to change where your center is. It's there to there. I think that's okay. Again, we don't need to go so far. Just give ourselves a bit more of an edge here. It's easily in the side, so we don't need to go super long range. I think maybe we can try. I think it will tell me that I can't legally fit the unit there, but worth a go. Archers, I'm see if you can kill 4 more, you get 1 less attack onto us. Perfect. When you fight in the side, they can only fight with 2 because it's 1 for each rank. So because I shot those 4, they lose 1. I don't need fire blades because they're only defense 3. Will be power 6 anyway. 5, and then they hits back. Yeah, I might lose another one. I know I only take 1 wound. Very lucky. They break. Scaredy cat archers. No, it won't let me do it. Can't fit in base contact. Saw it coming. Never mind. Which means they get to use their explosive charges, which is a shame. I'm about to be grenaded. No, they didn't. They chose not to throw it for some reason. Okay, well, I'm not arguing. What you've done is you've given the Dragon Knights a rear charge and will never do damage. Here we are power 5 against defense 4. So yes, using Greater Blades decreases their save. Power 7 with his great weapon. He's really strong, Palador. And then here we can just do a bit of scratch damage. We have our infantry, archers and cavalry all working in perfect unison. What a well-rounded, nice army. Palador hits twice, squashes 2, and then they finish the rest. They don't do anything back. That's the kind of balance I like to see. I wipe you all out and you do nothing in return. That's balanced. Let no one argue otherwise. Here will be power. I think it would be useful using Greater Blade because power 4, 5, 6 against defense 4 is only 2 higher. We need to be 3 higher, so let's become power 8. And then you can just stand there because if they miraculously hold on, they can get recharged in a moment. 8 hits, killing 7 of them. They're routing anyway. 3. Everyone else is basically okay. Palador leveled again. Ooh, Recruiter. Recruiter, so a little bit, 5% is just on that flat sum there. It's not a lot of gold and the wounds are a bit pants. So let's take Recruiter. You can turn him into a... He's helping himself and his allies. And then the Weapon Masters don't really need any more unit size. They're perfectly viable at their current scale. So extra gold is good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Do I want the 1 extra knight to be 6 or do I want that gold? I think I'd prefer the 6. I like them being at that perfect threshold. There you go. Oh, look how neat and pretty that looks. Everyone's in there, perfectly arranged squares. No extra units like if you did this or something silly. Very pleasing. Another Alpha Patrol. Okay, so it's a what we've achieved a new spirituality. Our Zen Master approach is apparently not appreciated by our fellow elves. They're trying to stamp it out. So there'll be, again, it's the exact same armor we fought last time. There's be 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Where do you think 1 is going to be? I don't know, just put the knights sort of in the middle so you can get... The problem is that piece of terrain is going to get right in the way. Oh, well, there's not much I can do about that. Can't really escape anywhere is the issue if they start coming towards me. Guess you can go here and then try and back off this way. Okay, the 2 are on that side. Again, they're going to immediately move towards these Weapon Masters and start shooting them. I can't stop them. Forward you come. I can probably ignore you for a bit. Can't reach them yet, but maybe later. Okay, yeah, you're going to shoot me, that's fine. You kill the Weapon Master, how dare you. What I could do to be a bit clever... well, I consider it. So they can charge me, I'm going to flee. And that will eventually allow this unit to move around and get a really easy rear charge. The problem is I would rather obviously have you come do more useful stuff up here. I don't think I quite have that choice. 2-3 is the chariot. I can easily shoot the chariot to death before it ever gets to fight me. That's annoying. One of you is going to have to run away. Can I see? I can't quite... This is a shame. I can't quite get far enough to touch this and see that... I can't... Because I'm not contacting it properly, I can't see the answers to engage them. Now I can. Interesting. I might be able to pull this off. So there's nothing that can see me. I can clearly see the lancers. That's my line of sight there, and I can't be charged. This works, I think. I could fit myself about there. Let it go. I can do it, excellent. Oh, no, we're going to phase. So this is the bit of the cheating that Sovel lets you do. You can phase through. We're going to wind up on that side because you can kind of bounce through units. Here, yes, I could take them on. I would probably win. I could use Greater Blades on myself and reduce their saves to nil. I'll take how much damage? Where 10 attacks, skill 4, they get 5 hits. Power 4, defense 4, they do 2.5 wounds. I've taken one. I might be able to heal it back up to a decent size. I'm going to want to heal it anyway because I lost one. So yeah, let's just take them on and kill them. Unfortunately, it means I'm not going to be able to Greater Blades both of them, but I think you can get away with it. You get out of the way, start making your way towards this unit. Now, who needs it more? So you're power 6 against defense 5, so they're already saving on 5+. You're power 4 against defense 3, so already saving on 5+. So it's just a quick question of who do you want to reduce their save to 6+, this one or this one? How much damage do we do mathematically? We get 11 attacks sitting on 3s re-rolling. A 3 up with a reroll is effectively 88%, so I'm not going to be able to do it exactly, but 11, imagine like 9 to 10 hits is about what you'd get, and then 5s wouldn't quite kill the unit. So that 9, and then the third of 9 to 10 is about 6 to 7 wounds. Here we do 12 attacks, and then hitting on 3s re-rolling, so about the same. It'll be 8 and the third of 8. 10 hits, give or take. And then 5s. It's basically equal. So it's just a question of what would you rather not still be on the field? This one or this one? Oh god, we can easily clean this up. So let's lend this unit a hand. Let's just break that because they're all unsupported over there, whereas you should be okay. If you want to do me a favour and just shoot and kill the chariot. Yes, I can easily escape there if I needed to. Oh, we reduced their save now. It would be 3 up, now it's down to 4+ because of our bow mastery. Here we go. So they hit slightly above average, which is annoying, but I save above average, so it comes to 2. And then our 8 hits is about 9, what we gamed out, but it's 6s now. So yeah, we just win. So I'll get 1 back for free, and then I can heal a couple. Over here, we hit 10 exactly, and we do pretty much exactly the right amount of wounds. Then he hit me back once, so I can't lose 1. Yeah. If you take a wound on multi-wound dudes like this, as long as you don't lose the whole model, you're fine. You haven't actually sustained any damage for the purposes of losing anything. You regenerate that for free. So just a couple weapon masters. So annoying, we'll go up to 13, which is a shame, but it's still good. So you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. I could leave it at 10, or I could just take I could just wait until I take a few more casualties, but I think we go into the boss next, so I'd rather a bit more strength. Yeah, so have a look. So obviously we don't want to be positioned like that. Yes, because they're small infantry type, you can actually spread them out again, so you can do your maximum damage approach like this. 429 for the shop. Right, we've got... I don't want another unit of heavy cavalry because I think that's called cheating, so the Eagle will probably be the most balanced option. It's arguably the worst in terms of what these things do, but having a fast flying unit that can bounce around to the back would be nice. So yeah, it's good for that. So Archer, Cavalry, Infantry, it's single entity monster. And we get an immediate level on it because of our recruiter on Thalador. So wounds, discipline, or attacks, definitely attacks because he only starts with 3, which is kind of dismal. Then with 174 for upgrades. I think there's some easy choices here. I want the Curse Standard on my Dragon Knight, so they get +1 attack. And then Divine Favour. Ooh. Spell sort. Target unit gets +1 skill. That would be pretty cool. Let's just see if there's any. I don't really need the other ones. Weapon Masters get really good stuff. Banner of Fury, Curse Standard, their own extra attacks. I'll probably take Curse Standard over Banner of Fury because with Greater Blades I can just fix that myself. I don't want that on you, that's not particularly useful. Banners of Mist, prevent being shot would be cool. It costs me all my gold though. 45, that would be 80 for both, which I can't quite afford. So I could do 2 35-point upgrades, so I can take some Banners of Mist on the Weapon Masters so I don't get shot quite so much. Or Mist on you. Don't take the Curse down on that would be silly. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I'm taking the only thing I'm really scared of is range damage, so let's just take a bunch of Banners of Mist to prevent the ranged casualties. Oh yeah, we have an Eagle, Storm Talon. It's not the min-max style army, it's a balanced army. We have a random event now, finally get to see what these are. It's a Forgotten Tomb. That's bad news for us, so you can send guys in at the risk of losing them in exchange for gold and magic items and stuff. With Horde armies, where you have a bunch of fodder units, great, you can send in a huge number of guys. With elites like this, where you run the risk of losing a huge amount of your effective combat power, it's really not worth it. I don't want to lose. You could send in a couple Weapon Masters to pull out some gold. I don't think it's worth it. How many would I be willing to send in? Maybe just a tiny amount just to get some side lose. Maybe 1 from each unit if you're unlucky. you're still fine. You'd still be viable. So yeah, just a couple, just so I get something out of the event and don't take too many losses. Yeah, I lose one from each fight. 57 gold for a couple weapon masters. That's not a terrible exchange. Effectively one attack each from one unit. Drasgog now, so some orcs. So nothing. So those banners of mist won't help us too much. We're not going to be getting shot at. But so flying units like the eagle, you can ignore this terrain. You can fly straight over it. So that's a good position for you. You probably come down here to get around here, and then sort of like this will do, I suppose. Okay, we have trolls, Roots, War Chief, so a bunch of I'd love to get some flanks. They can't shoot me, so let's just pass and have them come towards me. Am I fast enough, do you think, to get into the side of that troll unit? Not quite. Not quite. So am I going to be able to... They'll come forward as far as they can. If I'm lucky, I might be able to lure them in far enough to get my desired flank. So just stand here for now. And you're going to pick one of these units, probably the brutes, and just shoot them to death. Use that. So the brutes are slower than the goblins, so the goblins can come a bit further forward. I'm not going to be able to get in short range this turn, so we might just take a long range shot. And then reducing their save from 3 up to 4 up, which is what it would be, so very effective against anti-armor now. And here you just start walking forward, just to be in the way. We're going to ignore that one because we're going to shoot it to death. We're going to focus on that one. They can't get far up, so what I'll do is I'll put you here. What I'd love to do is eventually get a good rear charge on this troll unit and flee them off the field. So maybe if I do this, I can't quite get to the other side yet. So I'll spend the turn positioning. I think I'll be safe here. Can't quite get... I know they're faster than those brutes, but they're not so fast they'll make up that much difference. Yeah, they stop performing. The real value of the eagle isn't in its direct combat power, it's in its speed and versatility. You'll eventually flank that unit, so what I'm hopeful is that you will be in a position to flank and get around that unit. But for now, don't move because you can get them to come a bit further forward, which makes getting to the side a touch easier. In fact, I'm actually going to, for that reason, back off just a touch to lure them further in. Interesting decision. They chose... I think... Oh, it's because their unit is so wide they can't fit through there, so they have to go all the way around. Let's see, they come forward, which is what we were hoping for. Right, we'll start using ours. You're going to do the same thing. 3 plus 10 of 10 hits into the brutes. Killing 4 of them. We're already halfway there. So 2 more turns and the unit's gone. Now you just want to back away though, because you don't want to be caught by any of these. They've made that very easy for you. So you can flank that one and you can flank that one. And there's basically nothing the air can do. The only hassle is that this piece of terrain means I'm going to have to move this Dragon Knight unit right to there in order to pull it off. So I need to wait and see where that unit moves first in order to do so. You, I think, have aggroed onto this unit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to effectively waste time just by running you backwards. Forcing there. Now I know what it is, so I'm perfectly safe to make my move. So let's do it. We'll collapse this flank now. Forward you go. Go far enough forward such that I can get you in a position to flank here without you getting in our own way. So what I should probably do is come further up this way and give myself a bit more wiggle room. Just make sure I can still see them, of course. Yeah, that gives me a lot more room to maneuver there. Much appreciated. You're after those. You'll never catch them. And then you're safe to hit the trolls on the side and break those in the turn. You can easily reach them. Straight line's good. You want my eagle? Okay, I'm not going to let you do it. Rather, I'm just going to come over here and I think I can rear charge and break this unit of trolls. So as woeful as my damage output is, as we've seen, they're not particularly good in a fight, so I can just get in there, use maybe Greater Blades on myself to be power 8 and get through them in a turn. Okay, so you can break that unit. And you can break this one. That's good. And then you want to... I could do it now. The problem is... So just wait a turn. So I want to use Greater Blades. I've only got 1 use a turn, so you'll be power 6. And I'll use Curse Standard to go straight through, so they get a 5-up save. You'll be power 4, 5 on the charge. They get a 4-up save. That's kind of high. I think I'd like to use it there. So maybe I won't take this charge this turn. I'll let them... They'll turn around pointlessly and I can just fly over and... Effectively, the Eagle can remove them from the game by constantly bouncing around and they'll never be able to fight properly. Yeah, like this. You use a Curse Standard, so we have 3 attacks each now, 18 attacks on the small unit. You're going to come towards me. Yeah, let's just do our plan here. Flap, flap, flap. Swoosh. And just like that. Very good. I know where they've moved. I'll just get to here and then turn and shoot those brutes. Am I in short range, do you think? I guess I could be cheeky and try and get further this way. Still safe there. Yeah, it is short range. Oh, the extra mains in short range is massive. They'll be gone next turn, so we never have to engage them. And then you're... I mean, ideally you'd be in a position for me to flank charge like this, but I don't think I can quite... I can't quite get around that unit. Oh, I didn't... Oh, blast, I didn't use my greater blade. Okay, well that was wasted. Oh man, I think I still just smashed through them. Yeah, it made a difference of 2. I lose 2 because they still hit pretty hard, but Trolls with their dismal discipline aren't ever going to hold in combat. This unit gets completely slaughtered and I take 1 back. Take a wound, so just be a little bit cagey with this unit now. Try and go for some rears rather than flank charges. Yes, I could do these, but I might as well just wait. I can get even better stuff later. That doesn't matter. And this huge unit of Trolls is just completely irrelevant now. You're after those. I'm going to pick off this unit. Roots eliminated. And if I'm clever, what I might do is try and put you here to try and lure them into good. So he's up, kind of get them over here so I can get behind and... Yeah, but you can't be too close to the enemy, but I can see them and I can get a rear charge. Perfect. So that's that one dealt with. Greater blades, there are no combats. So we're done. You could maybe eventually get around there and rear charge a unit. Just for now, just position. Somebody will eventually rear charge that block. Chase the pretty eagle. Flap, flap, flap. Perfectly safe, as we always should be. And you've aggroed onto that one, which is probably the smartest move available to you. So we use our own curse standard, so 2 attacks each on Weapon Masters now, very potent, and then Greater Blades does help because they're defense 4, so yeah, might as well. That was the best choice they could have made. He uses Warcry, which is +1 power, but they're not going to get to attack anything, so not very smart. What I'd love is for them to actually aggro onto the archers, not anything else, because I want to put something into their back. So I'm going to do this, get right up to them, and I hope they turn around and face me there. Obviously you have to just inch away a bit so they're not directly on you. Okay, I can't, this silly wood here is actually slowing me down enough that I can't turn around to face them. That'll do. Falador hits all 4 times and kills 3. He has 15 attacks now, hitting 13 times, wiping another 11. That's the whole unit, just the War Chief left. That's the unit exactly, so he killed all his friends. Again, I'll just keep it as it is. Let's see if the Goblin one picks as a target. Oh, they did this first. Whee! Hello. They did exactly what they wanted, so they'll aggro onto the closest thing, so now I can recharge them with the unit here who failed to rally, which is nice because I'm not actually going to be able to turn this unit now. Because I got so close, you can't pivot through enemies, so I basically locked myself in place. It was a bit silly. Now I could do this. It's sort of unnecessary. That what would happen is you'll wind up with a duel between Drazgob and Falador, but it means I, in theory, can't actually take any damage, so yeah, maybe I'll do it. As a bit of thematic fun, I can send them in there. Oh, he ran away. I can't reach him now. Okay. I need him to rally in order for that to work. They're only defense 3, so I have all the power there. Do I want to charge this eagle in now? So you get your 4 attacks, you get 2/3 will hit because we're skill 4, so 2.6 hits or 2.3, something like that, and then I'll be power 5 on the charge because of that. I could make myself power 7 with Greater Blades, so 5 up saves. I only do 1 or 2 wounds. The risk is that they hold in discipline and then just turn around and kill me, which is pointless while I allow my eagle to die. If it's the final turn when they start routing this turn, I'll do it just to see what would happen. But strategically, the best decision here is just to constantly move them around. You're going to flee off the field. I'm never going to get to take this battle. Coward. Greater Blades is pointless here. Can't shoot into active combat, so just the archers just standing there. All the hits, good. All the wounds. Goblins don't exactly have the best discipline, not known for their bravery. There they go. They're still only wavering, not routing this turn somehow. Don't want to take any of these charges. Yeah, so it costs you exactly half of your movement to do a 180 turn. So 13.8 will become 3.8 when you turn around 180. So as long as you can get to the other side and have 10 left, you'll easily be able to get around them. Is that the whole unit? Oh no, there's one goblin mob left. Otherwise, that's basically all I need to do. Routing this turn. Okay, now I'm going to take this charge and just see what would happen if I did it all those turns ago. Yeah, you kill that goblin mob out of spite. Perfectly balanced, and there are no enemies left alive. Let's see this trick here. Power 7 on the charge. Eagle. So it's a trade-off. So obviously I lost the use of the eagle the entire game because I was using it, but then if I took the charge, would it have worked? 2 hits and then 2 wounds. So 2 wounds and I flank, so I win by 3. They break, so I do break. Unfortunately, if I was clever, what I would do is I would have taken the charge when they were facing the other way, so they would have fled off the field. But mathematically, more often than not, yeah, you would break them and run them. But it's a risk for no gain. If I needed the eagle in the battle for desperately to distract or engage other units, fine, it's worth the risk. But in this occasion, whatever. There's nothing else for them to do but distract that silly troll unit. Couple levels, which is nice. The weapon masters here. Discipline size replenishment. I don't really benefit from either of those, so just the size. Maybe we'll eventually make use of it later. The archers leveled and will benefit from size. You get more shots now that I've done their basic damage upgrades. And the dragon knights. Ooh, move speed. That's very nice. Be fast, so we have what? Banner of swiftness and move speed. They're almost like cavalry. Eagle's fine. You're okay. I can have the extra archers. This unit size is massive, so you might as well take the extra numbers. Into Act 2. Perfect. Very, very calm and serene. Nothing at all like the last playthrough. Having a whale. I'll leave the archers like this because they don't benefit from being... You don't need extra attacks, so there's no need to stretch them out. That's perfect there, but otherwise we're in very good stead. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, please do like and subscribe. It massively helps out the channel, and I do really appreciate it. Do you have any notes for what you'd like to see in terms of future Sovel content? It'll be max difficulty, but any pretty much run, character or build is open. So if you have any ideas, please do let me know. Or if you just want to chat with me and others down in the comment section, that's great too. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.